Conference realignment has changed everything in college football, but we are still looking forward to the non-conference games, and 2024 has a slate that is exciting. And here are my favorite games in the non-conference for this year. Florida State at Notre Dame, November 9th. This game will no doubt have college football playoff implications. Florida State is one of the few programs in the country that have a winning record all time versus the Golden Domers Notre Dame. The Seminoles have 6 wins and the Fighting Irish have 5. Some of the most memorable college football games have come out of this matchup. You had the game of the century back in 1993 where the Irish beat FSU 31-24 in a season that the Seminoles still managed to win a national title. And who can forget the 2021 game when Mackenzie Milton and FSU stormed back from down 18 in the fourth quarter to force overtime? Remember Brian Kelly saying that he wanted to have his team executed after they held on to the win?
I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Yep, that's that game. You guys make sure that you guys like, subscribe, tell a friend about the Unafraid Show, and most importantly, share the video. Clemson versus Georgia, August 31st, beginning of the year. Now, despite the school's proximity, this is a game that only gets played about once every 4 years. And even though Clemson has been a monster under Dabo Swinney, the Tigers have only one win over the Bulldogs in the last 33 seasons. This season opener is more than just a premier matchup. It's a chance for Kirby Smart to put down Dabo's anti-transfer portal rebellion once and for all. If Clemson can't hang with Georgia, there is going to be pressure on Dabo to join the rest of us in 2024 and stop trying to live in 2019. If Clemson wins, who knows how long Dabo's rebellion against the transfer portal will last. Nebraska versus Colorado, September 7th. I already made a separate video on this game, but let's jump back into how much this game matters. Colorado finished last year 1-8 against the Pac-12, and Nebraska just finished their 7th consecutive losing season. This game has big implications for Deion Sanders and for Matt Rhule. Now, the Huskers are going to be desperate to return to relevance. They have the #1 recruit in Dylan Raiola, a top 10 highest paid coach in Matt Rhule, and they haven't beaten their former Big 12 rival since 2010. And there is no way for Nebraska to show that they're back anymore than having the viewing audience that Deion Sanders provides. Plus, Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders has made news all offseason with his comments about former teammates or talking about how he stacks up against the other quarterbacks in his class that came out of Texas, or his dad saying that he'll be a top 5 pick in the 2024 NFL draft, or even his music career. But on September 7th, the only noise that's gonna matter is the talk that comes after the clock hits zeros. If Deion and Colorado win this game, it is going to send the media frenzy from last year. It's gonna go crazy again, and the people that hate it, y'all can be prepared because it is gonna go up. USC versus LSU in Allegiant Stadium, September 1st in Las Vegas. This is a meeting that Lincoln Riley did not want to happen. USC tried their best to get out of this game. And this is the first meeting for those two universities in 40 years. And it's the first meeting for both teams since they have overhauled their entire defensive staffs that kept their Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks from playing in any meaningful postseason football games. LSU made Blake Baker the highest paid assistant in football, while USC flipped UCLA's D'Anton Lynn and added FCS National Championship coach Matt Entz to their defensive staff. Now, both schools are acting serious about playing championship defense, but will either school be able to garner results on the field? We'll find out on September 1st. Texas at Michigan, September 7th. Do you remember the 2005 Rose Bowl? I know you remember the 2006 Rose Bowl, but nobody ever talks about the game 1 year earlier, where Vince Young led Texas to 17 fourth quarter points and a 38-37 win over the Wolverines. They did almost play last year in the college football playoff, but this is a different set of rosters, and Michigan is officially under direction of Sharon Moore instead of Jim Harbaugh. And you have to think that Texas will be the favorite, even though the game's in Ann Arbor. But the winner of this game is going to be in a fantastic position to claim a spot in the college football playoff. Miami at Florida, August 31st. And my guy Josh Pate thinks Florida has one of, if not the hardest schedule in the country. And if Billy Napier is going to survive this gauntlet, he's going to have to start strong against Mario Cristobal and his new quarterback, Cam Ward. There's a lot at stake at this game because Cristobal and Napier are supposed to be the ones, supposed to be the saviors at their respective programs. But the beauty of college football is that not everybody gets to be a winner. Look, I'm just happy that these two teams have finally gotten back to playing each other after only facing off twice in the last 15 years. Notre Dame versus Texas, August 31st. One of these fan bases is a religious sect. The other one is Notre Dame. Welcome to what might be the battle of the two least sympathetic college football fan bases in the nation. There's going to be a lot of people rooting for both of these teams to lose. What I'm going to be watching for is whether or not Mike Elko can get anything out of the 50% of the greatest recruiting class of all time that has managed to stick around and not transfer out. And also whether the quarterback can do what Sam Hartman failed to do and level up South Bend and lead the Golden Domers to the college football playoff. Because it is hard to believe that the last time that these two played, I was still running out of college tunnels at Oregon. What neither team wants is a repeat of 2001, where the teams combined for 13 wins, but also had 13 players selected over the next two NFL drafts. These two teams will always have talent, but can they compete at the highest level? That's the question. Tennessee at NC State. If you were paying attention last year, college football found itself its next firebrand head coach. Dave Dorn is cashing in on the 8+ wins he's guided NC State to in 5 of the last 6 seasons to call out anybody and everybody. He went toe-to-toe with Steve Smith last year, and now he has transfers Grayson McCall, Noah Rogers, and Jordan Waters running his offense in Raleigh. Tennessee better be ready. And early in the season, they usually are, with Josh Heupel's team averaging 41 points per game in the first 2 weeks over the last 3 seasons. The Volunteers have only played their neighbors to the east 3 times in the history of the sport, but I'm sure the way that they like it phrased is undefeated against NC State since 1912. Now, I'm excited to see Nico Iamaleava play. The kid, so much hype coming out of high school. I got a chance to see him play, and I'm ready to see him lead the Vols. My eyes on that one. Boise State at Oregon, September 7th. Get me an ESPN feed of Byron Hout and LeGarrette Blount watching this game together. Oh, I'll take it. Normally, I wouldn't be putting a G5 against a Power 4 game on a list like this. Oregon has championship expectations this year, and in order to realize them, they're going to have to get past a team that they've never beaten. That's right. Boise State is 3-0 all-time versus my Ducks. They've beaten 3 different Oregon coaches in 3 different locations. This ain't a game that Dan Lanning can take for granted. And to make things even more interesting, Oregon stole away Boise State's best recruit in years in speedy wide receiver Gatlin Blair, and they took him right out of Idaho. The Broncos are going to want revenge, even though they're 3-0. Arkansas at Oklahoma State, September 7th. In the 1960s and 70s, these two teams met every single year, but they haven't gotten together since 1980 when the legendary Lou Holtz helped take down Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys to finish off an impressive 16-3 record over Oklahoma State over the previous 19 seasons. Now, Arkansas is going to have to throw the kitchen sink at Ollie Gordon II if they want a chance to win here. Oklahoma State is returning a 1,700-yard rusher who had an even better sophomore campaign in Stillwater than even Thurman Thomas or Barry Sanders. Meanwhile, Arkansas is entering the post-KJ Jefferson era at quarterback and hopes that Taylon Green can be an even bigger, more athletic version of Jefferson to break them out of the 2-8 slide they ended the 2023 season on. Cal versus Auburn, September 7th. I bet when Cal scheduled this home and home with Auburn, they never thought that they'd have 3 other games in the 2024 season that were even further east than Alabama. Auburn won this game last season in part to Cal missing 3 different field goal attempts. Truthfully, Justin Wilcox's crew dominated Auburn, but the offensive play calling that has been the bugaboo of his tenure at Cal, it reared its ugly head, and we are here with Cal on its 4th offensive play caller since 2022. So good luck and Godspeed to their new offensive coordinator, Mike Blows. But they aren't the only school with questions on the offensive side of the ball. If Auburn can prevail, they need this win to look like a win and not just an accident. They chased Bo Nix and TJ Finley out of town, and they have only had 1 300-yard passing game in the last 2 seasons. Alabama at Wisconsin, September 14th. I'm so mad Nick Saban won't be there for Alabama's first trip to Madison in 96 years. It would have been a lot of fun to see Luke Fickell get another shot at Saban after Alabama knocked Cincinnati out of the college football playoff. But instead, we're going to get new look Crimson Tide with Kalen DeBoer at the helm. How will DeBoer's high-flying offense hold up against a school that even in a 7-6 2023 season still had one of the top scoring defenses in all of college football? Plus, Jalen Milroe is launching his Heisman campaign against Miami transfer Tyler Van Dyke. Does it get any more fun than that? Those are my favorite non-conference games from 2024. You want any more? Put them in the comments.